One woman who joined an organization that spoke out against the treatment of the mentally ill found that men held all the offices and made all the speeches. She was told that the sisters were not invited there to speak but to listen and learn. Women in the anti-slavery movement were treated the same way, even though they made up more than half of its members. Ministers, who strongly supported abolition, refused to allow women to speak at anti-slavery meetings in their churches. That was the attitude in most parts of the world. Women delegates to a World Anti-Slavery Convention in London, England, were not allowed to take part in the meeting. They could only watch from a balcony. So you see, even when working for the cause of freedom, women were expected to take a back seat, or, in this case, an upstairs seat to the men. Chapter 6, the Seneca Falls Convention, a women's rights convention. On July 14, 1848, this notice appeared in the Seneca County Courier newspaper. Women's Rights Convention, a convention to discuss the social, civil, and religious conditions and rights of women, will be held in Wesleyan Chapel at Seneca Falls, New York. This Women's Rights Convention took place on July 19th in Seneca Falls, New York. Two women, Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Lucretia Mott, organized the convention together. 200 women and even some men showed up at the chapel. On the second day, a larger crowd of women and men attended. Among them was the abolitionist, Frederick Douglass. Elizabeth Cady Stanton read aloud a declaration of sentiments she had written. The declaration's first words echoed another famous declaration. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal. Stanton went on to list 15 ways that women were treated unequally. At the end of the declaration, Elizabeth Cady Stanton shocked the audience. She demanded that the women be given the right to vote. For some reformers, that was going too far. Lucretia Mott tried to discourage her friend. Demanding the vote will make us look ridiculous, she said. We must go slowly. But Mott eventually agreed. So did a majority of the convention. Today, it is hard to imagine anyone disagreeing with the goals of the Seneca Falls Convention. However, that was a different time. Some people made fun of the women for their demands, but after the Seneca Falls meeting, women in half a dozen other states began organizing similar meetings. How did Elizabeth Cady Stanton shock people at the convention?